my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, well, I don't wanna jinx it, baby, and twist myself at the spine. Don't wanna overthink it, baby. It's just twist your body and mine. Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, but I don't wanna jinx it, baby. Let's not get ahead of my time. Oh, but I don't wanna miss you, baby. So I stand up and speak my mind. Oh. Baby, you give me ice and fire.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, chat. I think Keys was number one today. Give me a thumbs up on the sound. It sounds good to me. Just want to make sure that y'all can hear it okay. Good morning, Keys. Good morning, bro. Good morning, Bosa. Hey, Bosa. Don D. Good morning, Don D. KT. Good morning, sir. Hugh, good morning. Hashtag Hugh. Good morning, Kara Shea. Beautiful. Good morning, Mike Morgan. How are you? Hope you had a good time at the show. It's coming through the chat. Good morning, Orlando. NT, we all we got. Good morning. Good morning. Elias, good morning. Whatever Dre says, I agree. I don't know about this one. Hey, KT, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Elias. Elias said we can hear. Good morning, Balls of Paradise. Good morning, sir. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. Good morning, Tim. Tim, I really enjoyed that episode on Snakes and the Fat Man with you. That was a really good conversation. Really good, genuine conversation. Chris was funny as hell, to be honest. Talking about just the leg injury. And again, if you never had injury, well, I don't think many of us had that type of injury, but like just being a person who had paralyzed arm before. And when you talk about that thing of mental connection and feeling and things that you can feel even though you're paralyzed there, I mean, it's really weird to know that you can still feel those things if it's not there at all. That would drive me crazy because I know it drove me crazy just dealing with what I dealt with. But that was really good conversation. Good morning, Pike. Pike, actually, I'm going to mention you at some point in this conversation, so I hope you stick around. All right. Let me do this real fast. Well, I can't do that because I guess I can. All right, let me do this real fast. First, y'all, I want to start with saying that this is a very it shouldn't be sensitive, a sensitive conversation we're going to have, but it's going to be real. It's going to be addressing a very matter of fact situation. I'm going to tell you right now, if you are a radical, fanatical racist in any kind of way, this is not going to be the conversation for you. And that means if you're white racist or black racist, okay, it's not going to be the conversation for you. It's going to go to a place of reality, and a place that I talk about a lot whenever we come up into these type of conversations, but with like a very existing, a very recent situation that expresses everything that I feel about this particular conversation in just one little square. But this is more about Dre today, because the attack that occurred was on Dre from our own people, right? I will say that I am proud how Dre handled it at the moment. If I'm being very honest, he did better than I thought he could have ever done in that situation. But I think that in light of where it occurred and how it occurred and who it occurred with, which I will not be, y'all can figure that out for yourself. Anything I shared today will not have that individual that in that thread, won't have that person's name. That's just not what I do. I don't blast people whether I like them or not. I just don't do it. I don't think it's cool. It's not what I'm about. This is about the situation and addressing the situation, and that hopefully in this conversation, people can see things from another perspective. And that going forward, as we will continue to deal with racial divide in this community of reptiles and in the world, that people will approach it differently and then think about what part of it that they take in it. Like, are you the hair racism or are you the tail of racism? Are you the one heading everybody into racism? Again, it's racism is not a color thing. The conversation we're going to talk about today is actually reverse racism, because it's a thing. And now for me, as a black woman in America, and I shared this with Dre, it's more evident that the reverse roles are what's keeping us from getting ahead. The reverse racism it's keeping us from getting ahead more than the actual racism itself. I equated it to how people viewed the homosexuality and the different communities within that years ago. Even though it's not fully accepted in the content of how we address it in the world today, is approached with respect for the most part. You know, you can't change, and that's the whole thing. When I go back to this, you can't change everybody's core existence. There are some people who are going to be racist in the core, white people and black people. I shared that my dad, growing up in the South in the 40s, did not care for people of any color much because of what he went through. But what I respected for him is that he understood that we wasn't growing up in the 40s, and that he did not instill those feelings amongst his children. And it was years when we found out exactly what he went through. And it was closer to his death, honestly. So it's very important that we see it from both sides, right? If anyone is coming in the chat, I want to say good morning. If I didn't already say good morning to you, but I'm going to try to really focus a little bit more on the content of this, because I want to be careful to make sure that I don't rear too far to the left, and that when Dre comes on, I can keep him in a place where he can discuss this without being emotional, because I don't want this to be an emotional conversation. I'm going to ask all of the people in the chat to make sure you're controlling anything that you see. That I want people to have dialogue. This is, y'all know how I have dialogue, but if it's anything that is hateful typed, I want you to control that. I want you to block that hateful content. And hateful content is not a discussion. So if you're having a part of discussion in this conversation we're having, and it's just a conversation and, no racial undertones or no racial hates, then we're fine. If you're not sure, I'll block it myself. I just probably can't do it right away. So I do want to start with saying where you are in your heart on some of this is going to depend on where you live, how you were raised, how your mindset and thinking was. Like for me, I'll be honest with everybody in this chat, I'm very Candace Owens thinking and racist. I have never been oppressed. Okay. There has never been anything in this life that any animal or person could keep me from doing if I really wanted to do it. So I don't relate to the oppression, and I don't, no matter how many of the books I read, I was never a slave. No matter how many movies I've seen, although it gives me content to be grateful to where I am today, I don't take those things and put them inside of me and bring them up as hate, because I don't think that's why those things were created. I don't think why we see the reruns of Martin Luther King is for us to hate people of other races and vice versa. I don't think that when we see movies of the Ku Klux Klan, that the person who created those movies had the mindset to create, sorry, y'all, give me one second. I apologize. That they put that information out today for us to instill hate or to encourage white people to put on sheets and go burn crosses in our yards. I don't think that's why we see that stuff today. I think it's reminding us of the history and to keep us to be focused on where we need to go together. So before I get into anything else, because even as I sit here and I'm starting this, I can feel my own energy. I want to go ahead and make sure that we get our acknowledgement for Brian out the way, because I don't want him to be caught up into any other conversation that could spark up later on. So today for Brian Barczyk, I chose the prayer for resilience. And it just reads, Lord, your word promises that you will refresh the weary and satisfy the faint. Your truth nourishes the root of our hearts, helping us bloom in the desert. Your love revitalizes us when circumstances threaten to dehydrate. We want to continue to be very prayerful for Brian Barczyk and encouraging to him in his journey. So now I'm going to get into the topic. Start here. So you can Google reverse racism for yourself, because it's really long how it was how it's defined. But I wanted to focus on this particular section before I get into the video in the context of what created this entire subject matter for today. When you think of racial or reverse racism, we think of it in a way of what it was created or how the term came about. The term came about because a lot of white people felt like when affirmative action and things like that was put into place, that was a reverse form of racism, that Black people should take the same walk to get to where they need to get to, that they take, where the reason why affirmative action was put into place, because there was a time in the world where it seems that wasn't the case, that there was white supremacy. Share my personal thought on it. I don't want nothing given to me. Everything that I've earned, including being executives in multi-million-dollar companies, was me working my ass to do that. It was me putting my best foot forward to do that. It was me not being afraid to stand in a room of a bunch of white people of different ages, races, sizes, whatever, and present myself for the position and the role that I knew that I deserved. I was never denied any walk in this life. 19 years old, vice president of operations of a financial company. Coming from the hood. I was born and raised in Cherry Hill, Baltimore, Maryland. That's why I can turn on my professional girl and I can turn on my hood girl, because I have the beauty of both. Okay. And I always said, when people would ask me, especially people who were not of color, why are you so driven? How do you just break down barriers? How do you kill your goals like that? How did you just come in this company and take the #1 award? Because I was a Black girl in America, in Cherry Hill, in the hood. But not that you was going to make me feel less than. Because of that, I felt that I was equal or greater too. There's a benefit of going in the hood that most people don't use it as an advantage when they get into corporate America. Is a benefit of growing up in poor white communities that benefits you when you get into corporate America that people don't recognize. It becomes a hustle and a grind that's instilled in you, can't be taken from you, and cannot be altered. So therefore, when we have the conversations like we're going to have today, for me, I get so annoyed in a country of people who still take on an oppressive mind state when they are not oppressed. Don't get me wrong. There are people who have experienced it. There are pockets of America that still exist, but there are small pockets. And if you can't blow up in that small pocket, it's you. You're choosing that. And I'm going to say that over and over again. As I am as Black as the berry, okay? And I am not oppressed. So I'm not going to sit here in this conversation. It's not going to be about oppression in America and why people think the way they do. I'm going to talk about something that occurred that is the clear indication that reverse racism goes both ways. Okay. So I want to bring this back up and I want to read this. This was a part of the definition of reverse racism. Belief in reverse racism is widespread in the United States. However, there is little to no empirical evidence that white Americans suffer systemic discrimination. Racial and ethnic minorities generally lack the power to damage the interests of whites, who remain the dominant group in the United States. Claims of reverse racism tend to ignore such disparities in the exercise of power and authority, which most scholars argue constitute an essential component of racism. Okay. Now, I want to move on to take a quick peek at the chat, and then I'm going to go into what started this whole entire dialogue. Good morning, Ray. I hate that guy, Ray from Malern. Too much toxic positivity. What? Love you, Ray. Said toxic positivity. Oh my God, I heard that before. Okay. You're not toxic. I would say that you have a overbearing control of your positivity that is going to be around you. And I think that's a great thing. We all don't have that, so I think that's a great thing for people who do have the ability to do that. Like for myself, I can be positive. I can be positive until you dig at me. And then, not saying that my response is negative, is warranted, but that can come off negative at times. So, but all of us are at different places. I think Ray just has a great way of dealing with it. And a way of it is not dealing with it. I think that's really smart. If you have that self-control. Damn, Ray, you tripping on Ray super early this morning. Y'all funny. I must be missing something, Ray. Inbox me. What is this about? Good morning. Elias said, amen. Woo, Nicole, having me regulate my energy on a Monday morning. Do you have class today, Elias? Stay focused. Oh, God. Right, right. I try, like I try not to expose her. I'm really staying control this today. Good morning, Morph Minded. What's up? How are you? The blacker the berry, the sweet is the juice. My brother used to say, Ray, but I'd be damned if the berry could be as black as you. I would say that we was younger. That's how people always ended. When I would go, the blacker the berry, the sweet is the juice. And you go, I'd be damned if the berry could be as black as you. Oppression has a new face. I am not oppressed, but attempts still happen in the workplace, in the government. I will agree. And to that point in this conversation, no one is negating that. No one is negating that there are still pockets where it occurred. What I am saying is that if you're stuck in that pocket, it's you. Because there is no government that can oppress me either. The whole mere fact of how I live in, or you live, and a lot of people live in some of the richest counties. That's government oppression. Doesn't allow you to do that. You couldn't do that when people were really oppressed. Even if you looked at when Martin Luther King lived in Birmingham, Alabama, for him to be who he was, you would think that his living would have been a little bit more grandiose. That was the time of oppression. Nothing. I pay my taxes. I pay a lot of them. Damn it, don't want to half of the time. I pay a lot of them. And I have the same rights as every other person. And knowing that no one can oppress me in the pocket of life that I live in. So I definitely don't negate that. But what we're going to get into is our place in it. And that's what's coming up. Hey, Deaconada, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Matt, I'm so glad. I've had a similar conversation a long time ago with Matt, as in to say to some of the things I say today. And I'll just share, one of the things that is difficult too is that we now live in a world where we are so not oppressed, where we, like my family, is interracial. If you look on my personal Facebook page, you can't point out, oh, that's her blood, and that's no, because we're blood. I have blood that look polar opposite of me, because I have, like I shared before, uncles who are married to women of different races, and one uncle who is a man of a different race. So we have children who are definitely a part of white America and Black America that are my blood family, that you can't just hate on them. You know what I'm saying? And we got to think about that when we say all white people, because some of your best friends, like Matt, is married to a beautiful sister, okay? Who I call her my sister, and she's white. My brothers have white women, and I love and respect them as my sisters. So when you say things like all, you're talking about them too. When you say all, you're talking about that family member too. When you say they, you're talking about them too. So that's what I'm gonna go into. Well, early for the West Coast people, definitely early for you. Definitely early for you. All right, I'm just fucking around, feeling great this morning. Blessings to everyone. Okay. Too many people fail to take into consideration other people's experiences on a daily. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep. All right. So I'm going to go into what started the conversation. So I get a message from Dre, and he wanted me to see something that I didn't see at the time. I am active on his TikTok and stuff like that. But he wanted my thoughts. And the reason why he wanted my thoughts is, first of all, y'all know that the one time that me and Dre ever had the biggest blowout ever, like literally, like don't talk to me for 2 days, was about this type of situation. And it wasn't that, like we said, we were saying the same thing kind of, but we were hitting on the point of what I'm going to talk about now. Like we was bumping heads on the point of the hypocrisy in people calling out racism, the hypocrisy of it. So, you know, those of you who go to the national NARBCs and things like that, I can say personally for me, yeah, is there someone in the room who probably don't want black reptile owners there, or black content creators there, or, you know, black people doing reptiles on the level that we do? Absolutely. Y'all see it all the time in those Facebook groups that I refuse to be a part of. You see it all the time in some of your responses in some of those chats that exist. Do people go to local, and I would say local reptile shows, because I'm going to shout out NARBC. I never felt out of place at any table or anything. The one time that I got a side eye or a straight eye was from my own person, from a colored person, and that was recently in Daytona. I ain't never had nobody ever make me feel no kind of way at a NARBC. That is the party of all parties for me. That's when we all get together and have one big happy family reunion. And if someone is feeling a certain kind of way, any kind of way, no one knows. Have a drink and have a ball, okay? Now, local shows, even as a vendor in local shows, you can see and feel pockets of racism. I'm just being honest. But it's where it has to be contained. And you know, that's not oppression for me. You have to contain that racism because it would not be appropriate here because of the person who's running this show. This white man ain't gonna let you be racist, okay? Or this white woman ain't gonna let you be racist if they're running the show, and vice versa. I will hope that if it's a black promoted show, that you're not letting black people come in and be racist, okay? Because that's what I'm talking about. It will be the hypocrisy in it if you do. So this is the post. To make sure I give it to y'all in order. Well, let me start with the video first, because this was the video, and I'm gonna share the video. I have permission to share this video because two of the people in there are two of the most coolest, positive people in the hobby. One person, Kate herself, that I just look forward to see whenever I go. She's very assisting to the whole reptile community, U.S. art, other vendors, and of course their own brand and their animals, you know. So there's no reason, like as I said to Dre, because I always like to be politically correct when some certain things come up. I don't like to take a side. I like to say, okay, well, do they know them? You know what I'm saying? Like, do this person know them outside of this video? And the answer was no. So who are they was my first question. And we know who they are because of who made the comment. And then I'm gonna talk about that. And when Dre comes on, I'm gonna let him go into that part of it a little bit more, because I do want him to have the platform. Like I said, I use my platform for the way that I use it. I don't like to use it in a way where, yes, we can have a dialogue about a touchy subject, but I want something learned from this. I want something done differently from this. I'm not using it to bash anybody's way of thinking, including the person who made this post, who I personally set side by side as an admin with this person before. So I know how they think. We've had these conversations before when it comes to racial divide and my thoughts on everybody being diverse and inclusive. It's not just for one group of people to learn how to do that. So here's the video, and you guys can watch it. This is Dre and Chris, John, Kate, and a couple other people just having a good time eating crickets at NARBC. I'll play the video.
Let's go.
Ready? I'm going back. Oh, that's crunchy too. Yeah. Okay. Oh, it's bacon.
Tastes like a sunflower seed.
So I'm gonna take a moment. I want everybody in the chat who's not driving, to type in what you just saw in that video. What did you feel when you saw that video? Just type. I just want everybody to take like a minute. And if you can, for me, I'm gonna play it again as you type in the chat. When you watch this video, what was your thoughts? Like, what came to your mind just when you first saw it? Like, did you laugh? What's going on? Like, what was it? Like, oh my God, this is a horrible scene. What did you feel when you saw it?
Let's go.
Ready? I'm going back. That's crunchy too. Yeah. Okay. I don't know what else bacon.
Tastes like a sunflower seed.
All right. So just start typing in the chat. I'm gonna give y'all time. Good morning, Phil. I saw my brother come through. My brother, Phil. As we go through, my brother. Too many people fail. I got that. I'm sorry. Just want to, as y'all type, just want to go and make sure I check some of the other comments before I go. Everyone is welcome at my table. If people don't like someone hanging out at my table, they can all the way off. Absolutely. Everybody's invited to my table as well until you do something to me. And I don't care if you're purple, green, yellow. That's how I judge you. I judge you based on your character, which, again, that's what Martin Luther King wanted us to do. Character is important, not your color. Elias. Shit, back in the day, local Repticons, I didn't feel safe or wanted, but it's all a lot better now. Agreed. A sunflower seed. It's funny. Good morning, Mitzi. Good vibes is what I saw. That's what I saw. I saw good vibes, and I can't believe Trey's still eating crickets, because he was eating crickets live on TikTok earlier that day. But that's what I saw. All good vibes. I thought it was kind of cool too. If you look around in the background, you see Vanessa there. When you watch the video, you see Reach Out Reptiles. Like everybody just having a good time. And of course, John and Kate are sitting there. Just everybody just having a good time. That's what I saw. Elias, I just see people having fun, but I bet I know what the negative comment was said. And the fact that you could bet that you know it, Elias, is a systematic problem. So I'm going to go back, stay right there, y'all, to that definition that I had up. Because when we think of reverse racism, we think of it in a term of only think of it affecting white people. When we start to think, like when we can look at something and say, like Elias very honestly said, I can guess what the comment was. It's a systematic problem within our Black community that we can look in a video and assume what was said. I'm just keeping it funky with y'all this morning, okay? I already said when I came and I was going to do this, I was going to try to stay calm. Thank God, Dre, you're here. I was going to stay calm on this, but I want to keep it funky. Were you wait a minute, Dre, were you able to drive and see where we were at in the conversation?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna keep it funky with y'all. That's systematic, okay? That Elias, who is a loving person, who I know work closely with people of other color, who I know growing up in the South, experience racism on different levels and issues. I know who is very passionate about some racial undertones and things that occur. That's why she said I agree with Dre right away, because I want to make it clear. Dre is probably, it's great to be pro-Black, but it doesn't mean that you have to be against anything. It's great to be, I'll give you a perfect example. It's great to be a Muslim in America, but it's not great to be a jihadist Muslim in America. So you can support your people without not supporting or downing or degrading or creating false narratives and hate about other people. As a Black woman in America, when I see Black people do that, it gets under my skin, because what it does, whether we talk about it or not, the same way we feel walking in the room, you create now these situations that maybe other people, white people, are going to feel like, well, why should I even try? Or not even try. Why should I be real and loving, people, and I'm going to be degraded for it? Or false narratives are going to be created around my character. I'm going to get back to that. But Elias, thank you for being honest in that point, because you're not the only one who can assume what was said. People drunk eating bugs, drunk as hell. Hell yeah, Drunk as hell. They had to be drunk. I told Dre that earlier when I saw him. You got to be drunk. Crickets are nasty. Dre ate all kinds of flavored crickets that day, Hugh.
Oh yeah, we got her in.
Sean D said no crickets for me was my first thought. Okay, yep. I've been saying that all day. Fun, happy, go lucky. Absolutely feel like they was having a damn good time. I felt like, damn, I'm missing it. That's how I felt. Like they were having a good time. Typical NARBC turn up, you know. Just looks like friends having fun. Yep. I was looking for familiar faces there. Yeah, like you just want to see what's going on. All right, I'm gonna play the video one more time, and then I'm gonna go to the comment because I'm playing this video over and over again because this is what I did, trying to figure out. Like, even let me just give y'all another thing. Me and Dre never prepared for these Monday mornings. We pick a topic and we roll with it. We literally had a conversation yesterday. Like, look, hey, you woke? Let's talk about this because we want to make sure that we present this in a way that the right message comes out. Okay, I don't want Dre to get too upset. I don't want to get too upset, but I can see as I even talk, I have to keep bringing myself back down because it was, as I watched this video, it was hurtful to see that comment, to be honest, because it was nothing but.
Let's go.
I go back. Oh, that's crunchy too. Yeah. Okay. I don't know what it's bacon.
Tastes like a sunflower seed.
All right, so let me start with the equality in this video. Wasn't nobody just planting black people crickets, okay? All crickets around, okay? Everybody partaking in this good time. Now I'm gonna go to the comment. Make sure I give it in the right order.
This your first time showing the comment?
Yeah, this is my first time showing the comment. Okay. So
make sure you show my response.
Yeah, so all right. So the first one is this one. So this is the comment under that video, and I want y'all to focus on the comment that's the blanked out because I didn't want y'all to know who the person is who said it. And it says, y'all post them on y'all page and none of them post y'all on theirs. Wake up. So my smart ass is who's y'all, right? And who's they? Like, y'all and they. Who are they? Who are they? Right? All right. So because I know this individual, I knew it when I read the comment. But my other thought was to Dre, block his ass. Look, I was like, how can he even post? Because his ass should have been blocked a long time ago.
I was confused about that.
And I think actually, Dre, just FYI, that person still is visible in my TikTok. I didn't even notice that, but I'm gonna leave him visible because he needs some of that good loving that we share over there in TikTok. All of us, the black people and the white people, showing over there in combo. Sometimes we do videos together. Okay, so we're gonna keep that. I'm gonna let him stay visible in those areas because TikTok is my real public forum. Facebook, Instagram is not. So if I don't do business with you, there's no reason for you to be on IG with me. Or if I'm not friends with you, there's no reason to be on IG with me. And if I can't stand you, you're definitely not going to be on my personal Facebook. This person stands in that I can't stand that individual. And I once loved this individual. Okay, really have respect for this person. But when you get to learn people, and in my tolerance at a certain point, when you do certain things, it tells me everything I need to know about you. And I'm not surprised. What I am surprised though, knowing who this person is and knowing that Dre don't like this person at all, that the person will come over to this post, not a post with just Dre, because Dre posts, goddamn it, all day long, to say anything. So I'm gonna go back to the systematic reverse racism. The reason why he chose this particular video with Dre is because Dre was having a good time at an NARBC, which he's never been to be just to check off, just to FYI. And I wonder why he posted this on your picture, Dre, because first of all, his comment is false. Y'all post them on your page and none of them post y'all on theirs. And I told Dre I could have done this, but I didn't want this to go too long. I could have uploaded over 100 pictures that I've been tagged in by them. Right? of pictures I took with people at different events that I'm tagged in, and they are they as the white people. That's what he should have said, the white people.
So besides all that,
Wait a minute, not yet. Don't go. I want you to write your thoughts down because I'm gonna let you go when I let you go.
I don't need to write them down. They're right here.
Okay.
Right
Don't go yet. So when I saw that, knowing the person, okay. All right. And I said to Dre, because this is about him, you could post hundreds of pictures and videos that white people posted on their pages and tagged you in. So this false narrative that's being put out there by someone who runs a group is absolutely horrible. And let me tell you why. Because if you got a bunch of weak-minded people following you in a group, they think that what you say is true, and they think what you say is law. It goes back to all of what white supremacy was about back in the day and today, where people create a false narrative of what they believe their place on earth should be compared to us. So this is no different than the Ku Klux Klan coming, putting that shit on his daggone self and creating a whole statement, burning a cross and having a hoorah in somebody's yard to me. Period. You're sharing hate at this particular point. You're engaging intentionally in hate. And the reason why I said you're engaging intentionally in hate is this man ain't your friend. He don't fuck with you. And you took your time to come on his page and post that bullcrap where his friends in the video, because they are his friends, are sitting with him, and you say something racial like that because we know it's racial. Okay? We know what the intent was. We know how you felt when you posted it. And I hope, and I said to Dre, did they see this? Because I didn't want them to see it, but they had to, because I told Dre, in order for me to play this video on this channel, I want them to know that they are, that they are a part of the video, that we're going to be discussing this topic. I wouldn't want nobody to be like, hey, y'all, no. So I wanted them to know. So they did eventually, I'm sure, had to see the video, and they damn sure had to see the comment, because I wouldn't have delivered this to you this morning if they didn't. Now, this was Dre's response to that. Keeping in mind, this is a person he don't even deal with. He don't. Facts. Stop dealing with him probably before I even stopped dealing with him. Facts. So Dre's response was just simply, you're worried about the wrong shit. Ain't nothing over here concerning you. And that's fact. So I'm going to go back to this. Let's say, for instance, somebody else from that group saw the people in that picture. And just because that person, because you can use, when we have these platforms, whether they're huge platforms or not, if you got 10 people watching, if you got 8,000, 10,000, what I say, 11,000 people watching, that's a good percentage of people who will believe what you say is true. And they may see the faces of these very innocent people in this video, assuming that they're racist because you sat there and made a post like that, a comment under Dre's post. You are hypocritical. If you really want to make a difference for your black people in America and your black people in reptiles, stop sharing hateful undertones. Stop making it seem like we have to be boxed in as black people to be successful reptile people, because we don't. What we want to see is a community that comes together and improves racial relations more and more over by relating to each other. And if you can't do that, don't comment on people's posts. Period. Run that shit in the group that you run. Run that shit through the minions who will believe you and shit. But don't run that shit publicly in places where we sitting over here. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see the baby come in here. We sitting over here and you're minding the business.
I got headphones in.
Okay, you're minding the business of someone who's not a member of your group, someone who doesn't follow you. You came out your way to make that post that's racially hateful. It's hypocritical. And I say this because we've had this conversation before. I say this to you that it shows no growth whatsoever. It shows that we do accept some. No, you said they. You can't accept some. You said that. So that means that you think that everybody, and why don't you go on your other friends' pages, your real friends pages and make that comment? Your real friends who've been attending these events longer than Dre has. Show me a post where you posted that on their comments, on their video, on their pictures. Those same friends who have shit, some of them are half white themselves, but you call them friends. Let me tell y'all something. There is no one can hate something that you love and be your friend. I don't care what nobody say. No one can hate something that you love and be your friend. You can't say to me, them, they, and then I bring my wife, my husband, my sister, who is a them and they, into your presence and make me think that you really fuck with them like that. Mess with them like that. I'm sorry, Dre. Mess with them like that. Dre, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to give you the platform because, again, and I just want to say that I promised Red that I will restrict some things, but you can say whatever you want without. What I don't want to do is I want a lesson still to be learned in this, but I'm gonna turn the mic over to you because this is something that occurred with you. And again, I don't know if you heard me say this. I thought that you handled it better than you've ever handled anything, to be honest.
Wasn't worth it.
So, and then the day that Dre said I was popping off in his message, this was about this. I'm using all kinds of words. And I'm like, this is going off. I'm popping off because it's hypocritical. It's hypocritical. But go ahead, Dre.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, I handled it the way I handled it because number one, I ain't explaining nothing to nobody, and I don't fuck with it like that. So let me lay out some facts for y'all. Number one, as y'all know, we went to Tinley. The people in the video, Jonathan and Caitlin Wilcox of Phylogeny Reptilia. The whole time, and CJ, I don't know if he ain't here. He can vouch for this. They took us out to eat. We didn't pay for nothing. They bought us drinks. We didn't pay for nothing. They showed us a good time. So whether they shared the video or not, I didn't care. You spend your hard-earned money on me. That's it. It don't. Nothing else matters. They showed us a good time, and the simple fact, somebody that I don't fuck with, never going to be cool with, I don't associate with, because you leave no type of footprint in the reptile community on anything. Why are you so concerned? You don't follow me. I don't follow you. We ain't spoken over a year, and you literally came to find that because you want to make yourself relevant. Absolutely not. So I had to respond that way because this is the same person that when they see me, we're going to have a conversation. We ain't got nothing to talk about because you're a bitch, number one. Number two, there's nothing that you can tell me that I don't already know. And the fact that you like 30, 37, 38 years old leaving comments like that on a post at an event that you more than likely can't afford to even make it to is a problem. You worried about the wrong things, the absolute wrong things. But y'all can see I've grown, because normally I'd be pissed like, who the fuck you motherfucker? I don't got that energy. It's all good because you're obviously already miserable. You are miserable as can be already. I went to an event that it's the Super Bowl of expos. Everybody wants to go to Tinley. I go all the time. Nicole done been multiple times. Everybody, Elias done been before. Everybody is gone. But you are so concerned about what I did. And even then though, what's even crazier is I'm having fun, I'm meeting people, I'm collabing, I'm making content. You at home watching what I'm doing.
Hello. I was at home. Wait a minute. For the record, I was at home watching what you was doing too. But go ahead. Yeah, I got
but people know who you are. Because I guarantee you, Nicole, me or you, and this is not to be cocky, it's facts. Me or Nicole go to Tinley, people know me and Nicole. They want to take pictures. We talk. He come to Tinley, outside of that group, they don't know who he is. And then nobody can care. So my thing is, I'm already ahead of you. I'm not looking back trying to argue with you because it don't matter. It really does not matter. So you can keep that energy, but just know, let's be clear, I do not fuck with you. I don't mess with you. So you can say what you need to say. And I made sure I went back and I told Caitlin and Jonathan about it. And I sent them the screenshots just so they know. And I'll probably post them on my Facebook too, but I ain't blurring that out just so people can understand and know. And I'm gonna be clear about it. I don't mess with this dude. I don't like this dude at all. Period. So it takes for me to be on that level with somebody, as goofy and silly as I am. It takes a lot for me to get with that level with you. And Nicole, you already know the stuff he pulled. It was bitch-like behavior. We don't do that here. We're grown men. You older than me, and you act like.
Read Tim's comment right now, because we both said this before. Read it. We both said this before.
Facts.
Facts. That's it. That's it. You're nobody outside of the bubble that you try to create. So because you're not able to infiltrate in other and move in other ways like Dre and others are, including some of the people in that group. So I want to be clear. There are amazing people, and I'll say that every single time in that group. I am still close to many of them. That's how I know a lot of shit that's said, okay? I am totally for being what we say, I'm proud to be Black, y'all, and that's a fact. If you try to take my color, I'll take it back. In the words of Run DMC, it's not about being proud of who you are, but other people are proud of who they are too. It's about two proud group of people coming together, being one group of people called human, and having great times together. And if there is a cancer in the society or the community, the way that we cure the cancer is spreading more unity and love, not by stopping on people's posts that you're not even cool with to say something like that.
We know what that's about. That's because, and again, this is gonna sound real cocky, but facts are facts. This is simply because I'm at a place where you'll never be. Your group, I have more followers on my Instagram alone and my TikTok than your entire group has. And we were both in this group. There is nothing conducive in this group that anybody can learn from the reptile community. There's no education being passed. There's none of that. So the fact that you keep dipping outside of your group to a part, and it's funny because girl, what is you doing? What you doing? He don't mess with Nicole. He want to jump in and out and try to
because I showed him what happens when you mess with me. You remember that day. You remember that screen. Don't play with me. And I'm closer, Dre. That's just a fact. And I think he worked with me and he dealt with me long enough to know that I'm not that bitch. Okay. So
well,
that's
it's funny. It's funny because I didn't heard it through the grapevine multiple times that I'm being looked for. Well, obviously you can find my page. I'm not hard to find. All of my pages are public, my guy. Everybody knows what state I live in. Everybody knows I travel a lot. So please don't ever feel like you got to look for me, because you don't. I'll probably find you before you find me. But then again, we ain't got nothing to talk about. There's nothing to talk about.
And it's the sad part. It's like I said, the hypocrisy. The reason why the group exists is because it started, which was a good idea, was to bring a place for Black reptile owners to feel like they were in their own community. There was a time 20, 30 years ago that the reptile community was way more racist than it is now. But so was the world. What place? Again, in the words of DMX, what y'all really want? Do you really want to make it better for Black reptile owners? Or do you want to continue to have a divide? Do you not think you can coexist in a world with white reptile owners? Like, what is it? What do you really want?
I think.
Do you want to be the head of the racism thing or the tail of it? Do you want people to follow you? Or do you want to be the person to follow us through this place of unity that you created this group for? That's all I'm saying.
personally, I think it was just another effort for him to try to be relevant. And like Tim said, he that was his bait. He wanted somebody to bite, specifically me. And I'm good, bro. I ain't buying what you selling. You ain't got nothing I want. Nothing at all. You have nothing that I want.
Nothing. Nothing. You're unsure of who you are. So I'm gonna stay here. Let me stay focused. I keep saying, let me stay focused. Missy, I've been dealing with it since I was my son's age. 90% of the hatred I receive has come from Black people. KT, this is what I'm saying. Me and Matt talked about this a little bit before. I say this as a person who soared in corporate America. Never, it was the white people for me who opened the doors. It was the Black people who kept trying to keep them closed. My own sisters who envied me, who didn't want me to have that position, you know? So I'm not saying that were there in that company somewhere racial undertones, I'm sure, but it wasn't like, again, I don't care how you feel. At the end of the day, we all got a part of us that if something happens and it happens from the other person, like say for instance, if a white man kills your son, the first thing that comes out of your mouth is that the white man killed my son. I don't care who you are. And vice versa. So it's a part of us who all got a piece of it that we need to continue to work on. My point to this whole podcast today is not about, is racism real? It's not about if it still exists. It's about, it's gotten a lot better. And your part in it to make it better should not be to fire up racial epitaphs on a damn video about eating crickets and having drinks at NRABC, one of the happiest damn places to be.
And if I'm gonna be honest, I think this more so had to do with a lot of cover your ears. This had to do with a lot more bitch assness than anything, personally. You know what I'm saying? Thank you. Because there's no way that you took time out of your busy day to come and find my page to make that specific comment. Nah, bro. I ain't buying it. Nicole didn't want me to name drop her name because y'all know how I get down.
Yeah, but, because, you know, I just don't like when other podcasters do that. Like, we can get the same message across, and enough people would know because the person is so constantly parading this false narrative that nobody likes Black reptile owners, and it's an effing lie. It's not
and we got enough division as it is, not even in just the reptile community, just with everything. But the simple fact that
division amongst podcasters, God dang it, we just at least
podcasters, YouTubers, keepers, breeders, hobbyists.
It's no racial divide there.
Yeah, it's. I ain't gonna lie, I saw the comment and I was like, "Did this motherfucker? Ain't no way he commented on my post." I had to go double check, and I was like, "This, no, ain't no way."
And then the whole wake up part. No, you wake up. You're the only one not woke. You're the only one that's not woke. You wake up. You learn a way. Whatever happened to you, you're not that old. You know, maybe it happened
to be acting like that.
Maybe it happened in jail or something with some racist guards or something. I don't know. You're not that old to be walking around here carrying that type of hate. There's no white person blocking your YouTube videos or your TikTok videos or anything like that. They don't care.
And it's crazy because this the same person that will say this and then go and hit on a white woman with the same mouth.
But see, that's the thing. Let's go back to what Tim said. You can dissect that a whole lot of different ways. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. We talked about this. But my point is, I don't want to drag this no longer than it has to be. That I want to get everybody to understand is that you can't say they, and you have friends who are mixed. You have people, you want to sleep with them. You want to sleep with white girls. That's the same thing that was eating crickets with Dre. Let's keep it funky. You can't want to sleep with them. But then that's the biggest hypocritical thing. That's kind of reversal of what slavery really was about, but let's just go ahead. But what you definitely better not do or shouldn't do, let me say that, because you can do what you want. You are supposedly a grown-ass man. Should not continue to utilize your influence in a otherwise amazing group if you utilize that platform for what it really should be used for, to continue to throw pockets of hate in areas where you are not even existing, dude. No one knows you over there. Dawn and Kate don't know nothing about you, but you're talking about them. Vanessa don't know nothing about you, but you made a comment about that. And just for the record, if you would like documentation, I will email photos to someone that you're close to, if you like, to show you how many times we're tagged by our wonderful white reptile counterparts in this community. I can share personal messages where I get kudos from some of the most amazing white men in this community for what I do with reticulated pythons. Not what you get, because you want someone to just, give you likes. No, passionate responses about, I'm so proud of seeing where you came with these animals. I remember when you first got them. You are doing your thing. This is how you should ship animals. This is all of that. That's the praise that we get. And the sad part is that outside of our immediate pockets of friends, we get more of that praise from other people than our own people. Fix that. You have the ability to take 11,000 people in that group that you run to get those 11,000 people to become your TikTok friends, so you can make the money you want to make off of social media, dude. Get them to follow you. Spend more energy in getting the 11,000 people in that group to follow your other platforms to make you the somebody you want to be. Use that energy for that. And if you take those 11,000 people and you throw away those racial undertones that you carry so deeply in your heart, in the belly of your gut, you will find that you open yourself and broaden yourself to a broader community of people who can support your vision and help. And if you want to live your life through the blinders of just being Black, you do that. But there's a whole world of human natured people who are going to surpass you. And you're going to grow and you're going to die a man hating people for no reason. And that's all I have on that.
Yeah, I want to double back to something you said. You said you can do anything you want. You can, just don't play with me. You can do whatever you want. Just don't play with me. Leave me alone. I don't bother people. Especially people I don't like. Sean, what's going on, bro? Especially people I don't like. And typically, I don't usually publicly go on and say people I don't like. There's people that I typically choose to stay away from. This motherfucker, I don't like. I do not like you. Never will. You were cool at one point, and then you started being a bitch. And then you became a bigger bitch, and now you're just the biggest bitch I've ever seen. So, no, I'm cool. Well, I got that to do. So, it was the comment was very irrelevant. It was stupid. There was no point in making this comment, especially again, if you know this particular person does not like you. That's like me going to his page and leaving a comment, which I got better things to do than to do that. So
you're blocked for I don't even want to see you. Like I said, I just realized that he could still, but I'm not gonna block him from TikTok. I think TikTok, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? But my personal stuff.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a great week, guys. It's gonna be a great week.
And I mean, I'm gonna be honest. If I can say anything, and if anybody can leave anything from here, this is the message. We cannot move forward if you still want to be divided. And if you still want to be divided, create your own little pocket of Aryan Nation or Black Nation, whatever it's going to be, and move away from the people who want to coexist. Because we happy over here. We eating crickets. and
You know
drinking
what I'm
drink
saying?
at
Eating
NAR.
worms, drinking drinks, taking pictures, picking up monitors, you know what I'm saying? That coming out is nice from Uncle Mike, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like on a positive note, Tinley is and always will be a great show.
Period. It's a place I have never walked in there and thought. In fact, it's probably the one place that I probably let my guard down totally. Y'all know it's where I'm my drunkest. I'm lit the entire time at Tinley. I'm not
And
worried
when I
about
go,
what saying.
when I go, it's too much like home. I've been there so many times. It's too much family. There's too many people I run into. We just have a good time. And for
Come on,
you to,
go ahead,
you've
Dre. Don't
never.
look go, you got to read Elias' comment after you finish your point, because we said this too. Nail on the head. Nail on the head. Using the platform because there's no other way that you can get female. So that's you're intimidated by people that other people find interesting. Period.
Man, listen, and I ain't gonna y'all tripping over them worms and bugs. I'm gonna keep it a bug. It tastes like sunflower seeds. I'm a husky dude, so we eat a little bit of everything. It's whatever. It tastes like
I'm
sunflower
sick
seeds.
watching you. But then when you was one of them, you was like, it's this one is hot, something. I'm like, oh, this don't.
That one was nasty as
cricket.
hell. That one was nasty.
On a cricket.
And look, my
And
stomach
that's
felt
for
fine.
sure you would get sick later. And I'm like, he eat more cricket, so he would be sick at the bar.
Now you're at the bar. Jonathan was like trying to throw back the whole pack. Yes. Yes, ma'am. No, not today.
Matt said people want an excuse to stay where they are. It's just the way it is. Don't trip off it, bro. Stay on your grind and continue to reap the fruits of your labor.
Always. I ain't going
And I will say that Dre showed much growth in that mindset with this situation. I think once I realized what was really going on, when I saw it, I was like I was surprised that Dre wasn't as upset as he could be, because he's laid me out before, but so I mean he wasn't that upset.
Why?
I'm just saying.
Why are you lying, man?
We had a conversation already. I got laid out. Yeah, that dude needs to be nice. Not our fault. We was born with no rhythm. No,
he was born without a lot of things.
That's not even true. We have mingled so much over the years that we done taught each other, different things. We're flying planes, and Tim, y'all dance.
I think he upset because his sissy won't talk to him no more.
Whatever. I told y'all. So let me tell y'all about me. I don't care how close we are. If you cross,
because she didn't cut me out.
If you cross me, I will lay you out, but you'll never hear from me again. And that's how you know. So when people talk about I don't like people, I don't follow people I don't like. When I block you from everything, like block you from my existence, including my cash app.
Not from the cash app.
Oh, I block you on all levels. Don't ask for my money.
I didn't even know you could block people on Cash App. That's crazy.
I block you from everything.
Look at you learning me something today. All right.
Don't send me no message.
Cash App. I don't use
I'm
Cash
just saying.
App.
Don't send me no message. I'll block you on everything. That's how you know I don't like you.
Don't worry, KT. Facebook post coming soon.
Don't deal with you. I can be upset with you. I cannot like your ways. That doesn't mean I don't like you, or doesn't mean I still don't have love for you. But when I don't have love for you, it's a total different thing. And Dre, you saw that firsthand. Because you was one of the first people that I shared that information with, and I documented it because I wanted people to know why I really did what I did, because that person is never honest with anybody. And that's, again, you surround yourself by people that feel as though they need you for whatever reason. Well, these two people never needed you or that group, right? So we were a reward. We were the prize.
Because since we left, we ain't did nothing but kept doing the same thing and kept our own system.
Educating, bringing unity, bringing people together, you know, the real
Positivity.
positivity, non-toxic positivity. We just keep it real. Hey, Sean, I didn't even see Sean come in. Some of us are eating crickets. I'll watch. Still don't think I'm eating crickets. Phil said he ain't eating no crickets. Me neither, Phil.
I'm going to say one thing and I'm going to leave it there so y'all get out my business. I've eaten worse things, okay?
Oh, Lord, Jesus, have mercy. Ew. Crawfish and crickets and crawfish, same thing. Ray said people are comfortable in their hatred, and it's mind-baffling that others don't live in that mind space to them. So they try to reel people into their BS to cater to their distorted reality.
That's facts. And shout out to Ray. Got to talk to him at Tinley for a minute. Cool dude as always.
Exactly. My whole thing is too, like I said, Ray, it's hypocritical because if you lay down a beautiful white woman in a bed, he'll screw up.
So what now?
I'm just saying, not you.
Listen, all I heard was woman in bed. I was like, you know, it's been a while. I'm triggered easily.
Share a bottle of Jack Daniels. NT, Dre ain't upset because the little one brings positive energy.
That's a fact. What's funny. What's funny is when I saw that comment, she was sitting right next to me on the iPad. So it might have just kind of suppressed all of that. Y'all know I'm short. I got a real short temper too, but it wasn't worth all that. Wasn't worth it.
Yeah, I mean, again, take from this, y'all. We're never going to bring racial divides together if we still want to be divided. We have to have very real dialogue and continue to educate each other on how each other feel, right? Mm-hmm. But again, and going back to what he said, we all have different experiences, so we're going to feel different. Like for me, I don't feel anything about it because it never hindered me what people felt about my color of skin. I've never been oppressed. I never will be. Try oppressing me, you will get ran over. Okay, so
I tell people all the time.
Concerned.
Even if I could change the color of my skin, I wouldn't.
That's it.
And the fact that it's
black,
2023,
y'all, and if I try to take my color, take it back.
It's 2023, and we still gotta have this conversation.
Ain't old enough. Come on, KT. Who's that, KT? Dre don't know. Dre don't know what it is because he ain't old enough.
I know. I just forgot his name. It's a young light-skinned fellow. He played.
No, it's not.
Blue Hill Avenue. That's my guy right there.
It was Run DMC.
Oh, he must have did a little.
It was on my Adidas album.
He must have did a reenactment there. Hey, girl, what is she doing?
KT said, "Whoever this person is has pissed off my sentence, bro. I'm in the car looking."
Put it back.
Okay. The funny thing is that no one thinks of this person, and then that's why when Dre showed me, I'm like, "What?
Listen, out of nowhere." Okay, I'll get it.
I am a Gemini, Sheldon. I am a proud Gemini. I don't hide it. I tell people there is a true twin inside of here. It's a good twin and a super evil twin living inside of here. A super evil one.
She ain't lying. I met her a little while ago.
One, y'all wicked. And I tell them, let's keep me on my good side. I like being Glenda. I prefer to be Glenda. I hate being that angry where I'm wicked. God's still working on me. I'm getting better. I'm
I experienced Nicole and I experienced Nikki. I don't like Nikki too much.
You didn't like Nikki at all. Like y'all could have right.
Telling you that day she messaged me and I was like, "Who the you talking to?" First of all, well, I'm telling you, there was a lot going on that Sunday.
Eli said, "I'm still mad. He took my money and never sent his merch." What? And I was just trying to support, but I have no problem getting those people's merch. Get out of here.
It's unfortunate because every time I go to Tinley, there's people there that's still representing that group, and they looking for him like, yo, we're gonna take a picture.
Oh,
He can't even ever show up. So
that's not true at all.
unless you're gonna, you know, go to somebody's barbecue in Baltimore, you probably not go see him.
Right.
Or Hamburg.
Or hamburger. Oh, thank you, Morgan. Morgan, I just keep it real. Like, even preparing for this, y'all, I had to really, like I said, talk myself. Because it's not about what I feel about that person, because this will be a whole nother podcast if I stuck on how I feel about the person. It's not about the person, it's about the event. But the fact that it is that person, like this is a person, like you wasn't there to help Dre. Like, so if you went over there or Chris went over there and they typed that on Dre's page, I'm not saying that it would have been right, but at least it would have been a friend trying to say to a friend, stay woke. You telling somebody who don't care if you woke or dead, you know what I'm saying, to stay woke. Why are you here? Why are you here? Spreading your hate. It won't work here. It's too much love. Love will always win.
Yeah, he lucky that response was all I could think of at the moment.
No, I thought it was exactly what it needed to be, and then the block. That's why I said, "Wow, block him now." Like, you know what I mean? And then
this is the same person that said when he see me, we gonna have a conversation. Nigga, I'm waiting to be seen, my guy.
He pick up Red Sunday. Go in Colombia.
So
come stay up for a weekend. I said, I'm saying, people be talking shit like people don't know where you at. Like, if they really wanted to get you, like, come on. I'm short and have a short temper. Ray talking about me. Hey,
to be honest with you, Matt.
He's with Tiny.
To be honest with you, Matt, you probably
I can't fight
probably
that.
do.
No, that's the same thing I'm saying, Elias. Ray is bigger than a tree.
Hey, I don't know. I wonder who taller out of Ray and Matt. Because, man, I was like, God damn.
Who is taller? I think Matt still might be. No, they might be the same height. Ray
KG from Bomb Projects.
Bigger.
KG from Bomb Projects.
Oh, no, not a Gemini best. Yeah, but KG is not taller than Matt. I know that. Oh, no, not a Gemini. I best stay on the good side. Yes, I am a Jennifer.
I grew up with a Gemini, so I grew up with a Gemini, so I know how to get up under their skin. You know what I'm saying? I know how to get up under their skin.
I'm trying to figure out who, so I make sure I ain't in those circles they in. I got a really light-skinned wife. Say something crazy. Man, I'll let you know. You actually, believe it or not, you know who. Other than Dre and Keys, I never made it public when I did what I did and said what I said.
Oh, I'm making it public today.
like I just said what I did, and no one even knew for like almost a year.
It's been over a year, and the reason I'm even going to go public today is for the simple fact that this is like the third time since I stopped with you that you've made an effort to get my attention. Now you got it. Now you got it, my guy. And I'm going to let everybody know. Now, I ain't going to do nothing crazy, but I'm going to post these pictures and let everybody know. Because we can't call out one side of racism. We're going to call out both sides. If we truly want change, we're going to call out both sides. And the simple fact that I don't mess with you, now I'm going to have to educate you in the process on why you shouldn't be fucking with me in the first place. And I know I got some people on my page who like to go back and tell me stuff. So you keep talking about Run DMC. Well, they about to go run tell that because I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, just leave us alone. Leave everybody alone. If you feel the way that you feel and you don't like white people, that's fine. You can stay in your little mental prison and don't like white people. But to spread that false narrative that there is not camaraderie in this community is a fucking lie. And you're not even in this part of the community. That's another thing. You're so shallow that you stick in one part because you don't feel that you can branch out into other parts of it. And you can't with that type of hate in your heart. Yes, you're gonna have to do so if you feel the way that you feel about others.
But that's what happens when you take the wrong approach and you try to be something you're not, and you realize you have less than.
Well, Matt, you answered your own question.
There it is.
And which says a lot because No one, everybody seems to know. And we never said it, never said it, never showed it. Everyone seems to know who. That says a lot. That says a lot.
Put it back.
All right, that's all I have, y'all. I hope the message is clear. It's like I said, it's less about the individual and more about if you really want to continue to make the racial divide in the reptile community better, stop dividing the races. And that includes you.
Fact.
That includes you too. The finger you point to needs to be pointed back to you.
But you point one, you got three right back at you. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna continue this conversation. I'm about to go live on Instagram, so y'all hop on the Instagram live. We're gonna keep it going.
Oh God, I wasn't warned. I don't know what's about to happen. He passed this through me. Here he go, unsupervised again. God dang it, unsupervised.
The spirit moved me.
No, I just no, he didn't try to hit me with the spirit, y'all. Love y'all all in the chat. We appreciate you guys listening and hanging out. I hope that if you're watching a replay that you get the point of this, that you're not going to bring us together by wanting to be divided. That's not how it works. The only way that you can bring together is come together, respect each other, have dialogue, understand that there are differences in cultures, not necessarily race, but difference in cultures. And that's because of our race. We kind of have pockets of culture, but bringing those two together and making our reptile community the badass community it is. Super dope community it is. That's why I love TikTok. We are one big happy family of crazy fools of all colors and races and having some amazing moments with some amazing animals. And no one is over there worrying about the color of anybody's skin. Please keep that shit in your dick.
We too worried about why your snake ain't shedding properly. That's what we're worried about.
Right. Or not picking up your retic like that. Or, you know, this is not the best way to hold the monitor. Like, we have those type of conversations. We don't care what color the animals are either.
Bro, like, why you cohabiting them animals? Why you got ball pythons? Why do you like ball pythons? What's wrong with you? Like,
selling ball pythons. We have reticulated python. We're having those conversations. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like we're not having these type of conversations, but this was necessary, Dre. And I do, first of all, want to shout out to John and Kate for allowing me to move forward with this segment because they are technically inadvertently a part of it. They ain't know, they were just sitting there chilling. They didn't know inadvertently a part of the conversation, but I think it was a great tool to use to express, Dre, this very point that I was trying to express months ago when you laid me out, is that we can be more racist. He went out his way to do that. He made a special step that took steps to get.
She's not going. You know, one day we're gonna do a podcast and we're gonna talk about that specifically.
You know, maybe one day where I'm not still emotional about it because I still feel a certain kind of way some of the things you said. But if we do, I want to show the chat because the chat is what spark.
The crazy part is the whole conversation was like voice memos. I was like, who the fuck is she talking to? Like,
Daddy,
all of that. I had to, when I start voice recording, that's when y'all know
I put them headphones on and I'm thinking, yeah, so bro, but I think she was like, no, it's you motherfucker. And I was just like, oh hell no. She gonna have to see a different, you know, I'm Dre. She was like, she gonna have to meet DeAndre today.
We didn't speak for like what 2 days? Was it 2 days or maybe a day? It was about 2 days. I think it was about 2 full days. For sure. But we love y'all all. I hope y'all definitely took something away from this. And I hope that if you are a person who has those negative feelings in your heart, that life continues to show you things that makes it different for you. That's all I can pray for. This world is too screwed up to be walking around still worried about. Peace, everybody.